Okay, we finally got some rain. It's been like 2 months dry. Well, we had here just traces, barely got the ground wet. But finally, yesterday, we had a little bit over 1 inch of rain. So that really made a big difference. Well, let's go on our nursery tour. You could see from the drone shot, this area's kind of stayed the same. But as we go this way, this area has been expanded. All this is new. Remember, Dale, when we were trying to dig out that little plants, and then I dug out the big plum tree? Well, now that's what this area is. It's expanded. So it more or less stopped over here at the shade structure, and then so all of this is added. I think from the drone shot you could see a little bit better. So this is within that new section. And remember this project. This area is all sunny. So I put a lot of the Chinese elms. And I think there's a Zacoba towards the end. Over here is our triple air layer Seijuan elm. And then our little disaster that we had over here when I broke the APAC before I could even get around to working on the project. Well, I'm trying to keep it all together so people that come to visit can see our past projects. This area, we see these big boxwoods. Well, I moved the position. Well, you know, these bonsai needs to be rotated. So sometimes I just move the thing so that it kind of gets rotated, but still always seeing the front. You start to see a lot of open spaces. I'll get them refilled, sort of. But, you know, I've been trying to reduce my inventory. So eventually I could shut down the nursery. And it's more or less kind of working on schedule. Okay, this section we see a lot of the bigger Boulevard Cypresses. This is where the boxwood used to be. But when I switch position, it rotates. So keeping the front towards the customer, we could still get it so that the sunlight hits on the backside. Okay, over here we have our last drive-through. I had a number of them, but now they're gone. So this is my last one. I still got a fairly good assortment, but this section with the nicer material for beginners is all getting thinned out. Okay, I moved this big pine tree, trying to get a little bit better exposure to the sunlight so it doesn't get weak on the backside. This area, you could see the area view. And as we get down to the ground line, you could see it's still okay. I've been moving plants around so that it looks nice and full, but definitely my inventory is getting less. Yeah, a lot of the big stuff are gone, but still have enough for most people to come check it out. This area is kind of the recovery area and some newly replanted things. I think what we're looking at are, remember our Sejuan elm where I cut the part of it into 3 more pieces? I think that's right about there. Of course, I try to keep people out, but I don't know. When you try to keep people out, they want to take a look. So it's not like it's that much off limits. Well, it is off limits because these plant materials are not ready for sale yet. But bonsai people tend to be really curious, so they keep coming in where they shouldn't. I don't fight it. Okay, this area is getting kind of sparse. And I think they're probably going to get less and less as we go along because I'm selling out. This section too, I want people to stay out. Mainly because I just shifted from a smaller to these larger containers and they're not quite ready for sale. Just the other day, a lady came in here and found one that she had to have. So, of course, I sold it, but I told her, do not transplant this for at least another half a year. Oh, I had these boxwoods, really tall boxwoods. I think one of them is like a 12 or 13 footer. Anyway, they kept falling down where they used to be. Also, I'm reducing my inventory greatly, so I had the space, so I have it in here. And then as we go inside here, still okay, but not as crammed into like it used to be. This camellia is a little unusual one. My friend, her father, Mr. Oshiro, he had it, so I had a cutting that I brought back all the way from Southern California. Okay, so this area is still so okay, but it's not crammed like it used to be, which is better for the plants. This section, this whole table is gone now. Well, I didn't sell this whole section, but I did bring it to the forward side, closer to the back door of my classroom office. But definitely I am having less things to work with. Okay. Well, you see the Ponderosa Pine now, but that's where my ugly duckling one, it left earlier in the year. We still got Uncle Taka's pine. Yeah, those of you in Portland, I think you could go visit my ugly duckling there. I don't know if you remember, there used to be one big one, Chinese elm along that wall. I found a young man that really wanted a nice big one, so I made him a deal that he could not refuse. That's okay because that was really getting heavy for me. So from the overhead shot, you could see things have changed. I moved some of my bigger boxwoods here. And my peacock is here now. Once again, I moved the location for rotating my plants so they get more sunlight evenly, but still keeping the front forward. Yeah, this area is getting sparse. Okay, this is where my boxwood used to be. And every time the wind came, it kept blowing over. So now it's gone. I'm trying to decide what to do with this area. I know I don't have to try to grow any more inventory because I have less. I'm thinking maybe plowing that area and putting some sunflowers. People like sunflowers. Okay, this is the pine area. I think I shot the video from this area, working on the pines. Let's take a look at the area view. Okay, so these were pruned a few weeks ago. I was running late. We're almost at that spring. I'm shooting this, I think, a week or so before it become officially spring. And so you'll be watching it as it is in the spring. And I am getting better at maintaining. Hopefully we'll have a little bit less this year. Then I could even get better yet. But these are all approaching 40. I had the 40 plus ones, but they got sold a couple years ago. I think most of these are getting close to 40, but not over yet, I think. There might be one or two that is over 40. But you can see that I have pretty good size root flare. And of course they all have movement and taper. Okay, I think this wraps up this tour of my nursery for spring 2022. I'll show you again as we get close to summer. So anyway, this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. Okay, as I pan to my right, occasionally I get these problems. So I grouped, 3 of them? Was it 4? Of not so healthy looking pines. I think this problem was the root, and I'm trying to correct it. But see, what happens with pines is that when something happens, it takes a long time to recover because these needles will not recover. You have to wait for the new one to take its place. So anyway, I put it over here, so most of the time you don't have to look at it. And I lumped it together. And I was told that for pines, for recovery, it should be in full sun. It's kind of contrary to other plants.